Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Wednesday morning at Mystic. We're happy to have you here. Just to let you know, for tomorrow, we'll be live streaming from the safety of our own homes so that we still want you to come and join us. We'll still be doing our practice, but especially with the snow, it's better to be safe and to make sure that we're all protecting ourselves. So please feel free, tune in, but we will not be doing it live in the studio itself, right? Yeah, just for the 9 a.m. So stay tuned for any other announcements that we might be having on Facebook. Also know that we're live through Instagram, through Facebook, and YouTube, so you can feel free to revisit, especially if you're home stuck, revisit any of our videos, and please make sure to send us a message. Let us know what you like about us. Let us know what's going on, how you integrate it into your lives, because we'd love to be here for all of you. Whether you're live in the studio, which we have an awesome bunch right here, or you're live at home watching us, it means a lot to have you here. My name is Kat, and I'm going to be guiding you through this practice for today. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Like always, I recommend take it at your own pace. If something doesn't make sense, feel free, look over at me. I try to give lots of modifications, lots of ways to make it a little bit more challenging. We use our wisdom to find which path works the best for us. At the end of the day, this is your practice. And so I really want you to honor that. And that can be a challenging thing when we're in a social situation, but own what feels right for you and just let the rest go. So let's get into a comfortable position. You might choose to be seated, and if you do, you can sit down on a block or you can lie down on your back. And as you settle your body, I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to arrive at this moment. What does that mean for you to arrive? There might be these monkey thoughts chattering throughout our mind. There might be a heaviness from within the body or even within the heart. And I want to encourage you just to explore these feelings, these sensations. Let the jaw soften. Let the muscles in the face become slack and heavy. Just feel the rise and fall that happens from the belly. Notice the shoulders. Are they clinging and high up to the ears, or is there a way that you can just coax them down? Now, if you're seated, you might have your palms up if you want to receive, or your palms down if you need just a little bit more grounding for today. And even though we're in this seated meditation to just prep our bodies for practice, it's okay to find movements to relax the body a little bit more. Even within the stillness of trees, there is this energy that flows. There is movement within life. There's movement within us. Notice the palms of your hands and the soles of your feet. Where are you holding on physically that maybe you could let go? Notice what it feels like to slightly tuck the chin and to let the crown of the head just gently reach away from the hips. Maybe you find a little bit more length within the body, a little bit more space. Now notice your natural breath. What is this automatic response that we have within our own breath? You might notice it's high in the chest or low in the belly. It might feel tight or loose. And just gently start to coax that breath to expand a little bit more. Yogi Bhujan said, a shallow breath for a shallow life and a deep breath for a deep life. Not for any other reason, but the fact that when we take those deeper breaths, we open up to possibility. We open up to stretching the body from the inside out, to taking in as much as we can take. It's an opportunity to slow the nervous system down, to shine the spotlight of attention right on you. As you let that breath start to stretch the belly, the ribs, the chest, there is this circling of the air around your heart space. And as you exhale, let that breath go nice and smoothly. The chest falls, the ribs knit together, and the belly just curls into the spine. As you inhale, belly, ribs, chest, let it grow. And exhale, follow that breath out. Continue to find just a few more long, slow breaths in. The possibility to take in more is right there. Like any other muscle, we're learning how to stretch the diaphragm out. That is a low band underneath our lungs. And the more stretchiness we can get out of it, the more volume we can get within our lungs. Slowing down the world around us and tuning into the world within us. Take one more last long, slow breath in. And let it go. And just coming into center. Just let your head, if you're lying down on your back, we're just going to encourage our bodies to come up to seated. You can hug those knees into the chest. And if you're already seated, I encourage you just to let the head rock from side to side a few times. Keep your eyes closed. There's no one here to impress. There's just this exploration of body. And so let that head move around in any way that feels good. For me, I think it's important for that inner guidance, that inner voice, to come in and to just let the body feel free. So just go with intuition for a moment as you move the neck. Maybe you allow for the lips to separate a little bit, still breathing through the nose. Notice all the layers of tension that can start to unweave and relax. And we'll gently come into center with the head. If you're sitting on a block, I might encourage you to move it because we'll be doing some movement here. You can always extend a leg, one leg or the other. You can always open up those legs a little bit more if it doesn't feel good to be tight in this position. On your inhale, let those shoulders lift up to the ears, and on your exhale, circle them back and around. Inhale, lift them up, and exhale, circle them back and around. So as you circle out the shoulders, notice how there's movement even within the spine. And you can start to let those arms lift up and circle back and around. And even moving the neck and the head as you circle the shoulders around. Where can you find freedom from within our bodies? You know, as we might feel constricted in this external world, wearing masks, living this new life, freedom comes from within. Finding freedom and that breath. Finding freedom and opening that possibility. Give yourself 2 more breaths. And coming into center, let those arms come by your side and reach them up towards the sky. The gaze can follow up, eyes closed. On your exhale, flip the hands, tuck chin to chest, lower those hands down. Notice the tension within the hips as you hold this position. One more time. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. And exhale, lower the hands down. On your inhale, let those hands come forward. Palms are going to be up. I want you to make 2 fists. And then on your exhale, draw knuckles towards the shoulders. On your inhale, let those elbows open, broaden the chest, hug those shoulders away from the ears. And then keeping that spine neutral as you exhale, see if you can bring those elbows in towards each other. So you're squeezing pectoral muscles and opening up that mid-upper back. Inhale, the arms reach forward, arms neutralize, open up the palms. Squeeze, make 2 fists. Exhale, knuckles towards the shoulders. Inhale, open up the chest, relax, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, squeeze those elbows in towards each other. Inhale, open up the palms, arms extend. Squeeze, make fists, knuckles towards the shoulders. Inhale to open, relax the neck, head, shoulders. Exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale, open up the arms. Squeeze fists. Exhale, knuckles to the shoulders. Inhale, open up the chest. And exhale to squeeze it in. Relax the hands down by your sides and switch your legs or extend to whatever feels right for you. You're going to drop that right hand down on the ground, and that left arm is going to shoot up and over to the right side. Now, root down into the right hand and the left hip. Relax both shoulders away from your ears. Gaze could look up, gaze could look down. Flare your nostrils as you breathe. So the thing about wearing masks, especially for me, is as we come into this social situation, as we come into this place, it's important for us to not shy away from breath. We keep it through our nose. But breath is life. On your inhale, both arms reach up, spiral left hand down, right hand stretches up and over to the left side. Relax shoulders away from the ears. Push down onto the left palm and root right hip down onto the earth. Gaze up, gaze down. Sometimes you need to test the waters in both directions to see what feels right for you. Inhale, both arms reach up to the sky. And then exhale, bring your hands into this goalpost position. All right. So broaden the chest. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. On your exhale, you're going to dial the fingertips down and keep those elbows in the same position, ish. Inhale, let those fingers lift up, broaden the chest. And exhale, bring those fingers down. So we're working a lot on shoulders for today, hips and shoulders. That's our bag. Inhale, open up the chest. And exhale, fingers down. Internal rotation one more time. Inhale, external rotation, and exhale, internal. Release the hands down towards the thighs. Notice that squeezing of the shoulders. And we're going to circle the torso. It's going to go right, forward, left, and circle around. You can get as big or as small in this position. And I invite you to close your eyes. And I can't see your mouth right now, so smile. Your attitude towards what we do, towards what you do, creates your reality. Sometimes I know for myself, I find myself in this like frowny face, especially if I'm concentrating. I'm really deep in this moment. And humor and laughter and joy can kind of bring us out of that reverie. And it can bring us out of that moment. And it creates joy. In Tai Chi, joy starts from within. So how do you start your joy? Go in the opposite direction a few times. Notice this little massaging through the lower back. And we'll come into center. Now you have an option. You can roll over the shins, come into tabletop position, or just kick those feet off to the side, whatever feels right for you. Once we're in tabletop position, you might tent the fingers, fist the hands, or two high fives bring you down onto the ground. Squeeze those knuckles in, press down into the fingertips, and on your inhale, let the tailbone lift, chest opens, the front of the arms are facing the front of the mat, and you're looking forward. As you exhale, tuck the pelvis, round the back, push it up to the sky. Gaze can go towards your belly button. Inhale, lift the tailbone, open up the chest, slide those shoulders away from the ears. Exhale to round. Finding 4 more breaths, moving through your cats and cows, maybe thinking about every time you come into cow, those elbows shoot back a little bit more, so the front of the arms face the front of your mat. Maybe there's even a gentle shifting back, hips to heels when you're in cat, so you can open up that lower back. Maybe every breath you think of is just this celebration to wash over your body. Give yourself just one more round. Once you find your exhale and you're rounding the back, keep the back rounded and just rock the body forwards and backwards a few times. Head can rock from side to side. Notice what it feels to tuck that pelvis. Press hips slightly back to heels, or more than slightly. You can get a big opening within that lower back. We sit often. We stand often. And that lower back takes the brunt of so much. Now, the next time you're pressing those hips back to heels, let them drop down and drop down onto the forehead, child's pose. Letting the head rock from side to side, maybe movement in the hips. Those arms can be reaching forward with a little bit of energy and excitement, or you might be a little bit more passive within the shoulders. Take a deep breath in and out. how hard we work in life. I encourage you when I offer these opportunities to soften, how quickly can we go into softening? How quickly can we release that sense of holding that we have in life? Take a deep breath in and out. As you inhale, let's roll up into our tabletop position. Right foot is going to go to the back of the mat, and I want you to dig the toe down onto the earth. Move the hips, shake out the head, yes and no. Don't be afraid to move your body. You can even shift forwards and backwards into the right heel, even allowing for that left knee to lift just a little bit. See what that feels like to have weight on the wrists that starts to increase. Now, when and if you're ready, coming into this stabilized position, hands under the shoulders, that right leg is back, slowly lift that left knee to a hover. Keep the pelvis tucked, draw your lower abs in as much as you can, and relax the neck, head, and shoulders. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, release the left knee down and let that right foot lift up at hip height. Take a deep breath in here. And on your exhale, curl the right knee into the chest, rounding the back. Inhale to extend. On your exhale, I want you to bend your elbows so chest comes down. Those hips can stay up. And then inhale, press back up. Knee into chest as you exhale. Inhale to extend the arm, extend the leg, bend those arms, and then press up. I'll get my body parts right. Knee into chest. Inhale to extend. Bend those arms. Let those elbows shoot to the ribs, and then press up. Little baby push up. Last time. Knee into chest. Extend. Come down 1 inch, 6 inches. I care not. And press up. Now, I want you to drop down onto the left elbow and circle out the right knee. Big hip circles. Play around with what feels right for you. You can even come onto the right fingertips if you need to relax the right wrist. Opening and closing. Notice where you add tension that maybe you don't quite need to assist you within this practice. Whether it's tension and resistance within the body or the mind, notice how you move your body. Release the right foot down, right knee down, and push onto both palms. Tabletop position. Left foot goes back. And then again, we're going to shift forwards and backwards. You can get as big or as small as you want with it. That shifting forwards and backwards can feel really good for the whole back line of the body. So our calves, the bottoms of our feet, the ankles, get some opening, the hamstrings. Notice what happens in your hips. Maybe that left hip lifts. See if you can bring it down a little bit more. Now we're going to come into center. So stack those shoulders over the wrists. Get really powerful within that left leg and lift the right knee to a hover. Yeah, now tuck the pelvis. See if you can lift up the right foot as well. See what that feels like. Squeeze the left quad. Take a deep breath in. And out. One more deep breath in. And exhale, release the right knee down and lift that left foot up at hip height. Take the deepest breath in. And on your exhale, curl the knee into the chest, round the back. Inhale to extend. And on your exhale, bend the arms so elbows come to ribs, chest comes down, head comes down, and then press back up. Now knee into chest. Extend. Come down. And then press back up. 2 more times. Knee into chest. Extend. Come down with the chest. Press up. Last time. Knee into chest. Press it back. Let that breath move you. Elbows bend. And then press back up. Once you press back up, release down onto that right elbow. Circle out the left hip. You can bend and straighten. Wiggle the toes. Notice how the breath goes into those tighter places within our body. And just follow that breath. Follow the sensations. How do we make this feel better while still challenging ourselves in a really beautiful way? Strength comes from that place where we want to give up, and we go just a little bit further. Slowly releasing the left knee down, push onto the right palm. Open up those knees and start to circle out the hips, the ribs, the shoulders, getting as big or as small as it feels comfortable for you. Notice how you approach everything that we're doing for this practice. Give yourself maybe a couple circles in the opposite direction if you haven't already. And then coming into center, we're going to tuck those toes and slowly start to lift those knees back and up, straightening those legs, coming into your downward facing dog. In this down dog, open up the feet a little bit wider to the wide sides of the mat and start to bend and straighten the legs, alternating the bend. Shaking out the head, yes and no. Notice the hands. Bend those knees and imagine you're sitting to where the ceiling and the wall meet. So you can bend those knees, lift that tailbone a little bit higher. Shake out the head, yes and no. Gaze should be looking between the legs. Now bend those knees a lot. Look forward and just tiptoe those feet to the front of your mat. Coming into our forward fold, you can bring the elbows to the thighs, shaking out the head, yes and no, looking down towards your feet or in between those legs. And if that feels really good and the back feels supported and you could go deeper, you can come into ragdoll. Grabbing onto opposite elbows, just letting the torso rock from side to side. Anytime we face a challenge, how do you face this challenge? You know, this is just like life, except for as soon as you walk in the room, out of this room, you're facing a very different thing. But the roots of our foundation are there. The strength to consider, to pause before we answer, to think before we write. Before we give up, we try. Bend those knees on your inhale, bringing hands to the chest, hands to the thighs and tucking chin to chest. On your exhale, rolling up to standing. Those arms will circle up to the sky. And on your exhale, bring your hands to your heart space. Bend those knees, inhale, circle, sweep those arms up to the sky. Gaze can look up to the fingertips. As you exhale, hands come to the heart space. One more time. Inhale, circle those arms up to the sky. And exhale, hands come to our heart space. Pause here for a second. Notice the mat, the texture of the mat under your feet. Notice where you shift your weight from side to side. Notice if the crown of the head is lifting up towards the sky. What is the habit we go into in life? Now think for just a moment, when you walk out of class today, what is it you want to feel? What is it that you want to walk away with? Strength, grounding, peace. It all starts from within. On your inhale, take your arms, reach them up to the sky. Now, as you exhale, you're going to flip the hands. You're going to bend those knees and scoop up all the world's good juju. Inhale, hands are going to come to the chest. And as you exhale, you're going to round the back and bend those knees. Inhale, the arms reach up to the sky. We stand up tall, squeezing quads and glutes. Exhale, circle out those arms. Inhale, hands to chest. And on your exhale, press out, hips back, arms forward. Inhale, stand up tall. Let this be a dance of breath. Exhale, hands to chest. Push out, exhale. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, circling out those arms, hands to chest. Bring all that good stuff right to you. And press out. 2 more times. So we're doing these little squats, these little uttatasanas. We're encouraging a little bit more stretchiness from our knees, our hips. Stand up tall. Circle out those arms. Sink into your chair. Hands to heart space. Press those hips back. Chest up. Tuck the pelvis. We're pausing here for a second. Notice the bottoms of your feet. Lift the toes. Notice how the balls press into the ground. There's almost this triangle shape under our legs. When I first started going into yoga, when I first started strengthening my body, I remember looking at other people and having to come up and out and trying different things and admiring the strength of others. And over time, our strength grows. That moment when we want to quit, that's the moment that we start to learn about what it takes within us. And it's a beautiful journey. It's hard. I'm here with you. Let those hips sink down a little bit more. Take one more breath. And exhale. Inhale, stand up tall at the top. Squeeze those quads and glutes. On your exhale, right hand comes down. Left hand shoots up and over to the right side. Root down into both of your feet. Imagine that left shoulder's leaning back a little bit. Notice the beating of your heart. That is my favorite muscle right here. Embrace it. Inhale, both arms up to the sky. Exhale, left hand down. Right hand reaches up and over. Gently press those hips slightly over to the right. Get a little bit more opening if that feels okay. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, find your chair. And then hinge forward, forward fold. Slide your hands to your shins, come into your halfway lift so that the crown of the head is reaching away from your hips. Chest can come up higher. Own this position. Feel supported. As you exhale, fold over those thighs, hands to the ground. We're going to step both feet to the back of your mat, coming into your plank. Yeah, so as you come into your plank, drop your hips down just a little bit more. Tuck the pelvis. Push into your upper back just a little bit. Soften the elbows. Lift the corners of your mouth. Squeeze your glutes. Breathe. There is so much that goes on here, and you're doing it. You're doing it. Give yourself 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Inhale, knees to earth. Relax the tops of the feet. As you exhale for a 10 count, come down so that the chest hits the ground before the belly. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Last 3, 2, and 1. Belly flop down if you're not already there. Squeeze those glutes. Inhale, head, shoulders lift off the mat. Point the toes and squeeze your quads. Protect that lower back. Whether you're in baby cobra or up dog, it matters not. One is not better than the other. Both are strong positions. On your next exhale, release head, neck, shoulders down. Now lift your butt up 1 inch. Push hands and knees, tabletop. Press back, child's pose. Take a deep breath in right here. Circle out the wrists if you need to. Hips can rock side to side. Notice the conversations you have with yourself. And just know that we're supported here, and all of our practices are going to look slightly different. And that's a beautiful thing because we all look different. We all share similar things, but in different ways that we own this life. Inhale, press yourself up, tabletop position. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Pedal the feet. In some yogas, they'll say that this is a resting pose, but I really want it to be very active so that we notice what it is that we're doing in this upside down V position. Shake out the head, yes and no. On your next inhale, I want you to take that right leg and lift it up to the sky. On your exhale, hug the knee into the chest. Inhale, reach the leg up. Now exhale, bring it over to the right elbow. Right elbow, yeah. Inhale up. One more time, right elbow. Inhale up. Exhale, step that foot to the front of your mat. And 1, 2, or 15 steps. Grab your blocks if you have them. 1 block, 2 blocks. I'm a 2 blocker because I have short arms. We're all friends now. I can share that with you. So I want you to have that right knee stacked and drop your hips down. You have at any time you want to drop that left knee down. It's a beautiful position to be in. You still get a lot of opening. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, we're going to lengthen the front leg. You might look down to the right toes, wiggle them. Inhale, bend into that right knee, dropping left hip down just a little bit more. Exhale to lengthen the front leg. And 2 more times, shifting forward. Now, what do we learn every time we move our bodies? Sometimes what I learn is that for many hours out of the day, I might have forgotten that I'm actually moving, that I'm actually living. And that's okay. You know, it's okay when we get that opportunity, bend that right knee to embrace. We take that opportunity and we run with it. With that right knee bent, I want you to root the left hand down onto the ground and start to spiral the right arm up to the sky. Hug the shoulder blades in towards each other and squeeze your inner thighs in. Get those legs strengthened up. Take 1 more deep breath in. And on your exhale, release the right hand down. We are going to slowly step the left foot forward to meet the right, coming into our forward fold. Bend those knees and roll up to standing. Inhale, circle, sweep, arms up to the sky. Palms come together. As you exhale, let those hands go behind the back of the head. Now bend your knees and tuck your pelvis. Lean back into those fingertips or the hands or the wrists. Take a deep breath so it goes right up to the top of the heart space. How much energy can you send right here? Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, find chair. Get dramatic. Hinge forward, forward fold. Slide your hands to your shins. Come into your halfway lift. And then exhale, hands down. Step back into your plank. Squeeze the quads. Tuck the pelvis. Embrace. 1 more breath. On your next inhale, you can release knees to earth. I'm going to do that. As you exhale, high plank to low plank, either halfway down or all the way down. Inhale either to your baby cobra, or if you choose, upward facing dog. Whatever you do, protect that lower back at all costs. Press your chest forward, shoulders dial down and back. Good. And then exhale, we'll find ourselves in our downward facing dog, through tabletop or not. Take a deep breath in. and exhale. One more deep breath in and let it go. Get your feet together at the back of your mat, and on your inhale, sweep that left leg up to the sky. As you exhale, knee into the center of the chest, roll forward, plank. Yes. Inhale up. 3 times over to that left elbow. Exhale, curl it forward over to that left elbow. Inhale up. Exhale over to the elbow or forward, whatever feels right for you. Again, your practice. Last time. Inhale up. And exhale, bring it forward. Now plant that foot to the front of your mat. Blocks can come in to help assist. Yeah. Relax those shoulders away from the ears. So I'll show you on this side, if you do have that knee down, it's a gorgeous place to be in. Take a deep breath in with that left knee bent. As you exhale, you might just press those hips back, lengthen the front leg. Yeah, and if you had it with the leg lifted that first time and you want to try that again, you go for it. And we're just going to find 4 more breaths, just shifting that weight forwards and backwards. Your job for today, your job for this practice is just to focus on you. There's no conference call. There's no kids. There's no grandkids, husband, wife, significant other, friends, family. It's just you. How do you move through this world? Now, the next time you have that left knee bent, again, right knee down or not, you can anchor into that right hand on a block or straight underneath the shoulder. Start to lift that left arm up to the sky. You can squeeze front leg and back leg in towards each other. Feel your own power. You are strong. You are powerful, yet we have grace. That moment we want to quit is that moment we learn more about ourselves, for better or worse. It's all good. This is us. Inhale. On your exhale, release that left hand down, and then step the right foot forward to meet the left. Forward fold. Take a deep breath in and out. You can open up the feet a little wider. Maybe you bend and straighten the legs a few times. See what that feels like for you. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you like to be still. It becomes a choice and not an obligation for us to move. So often, the hardest thing to do in winter is to move because it's cold. There's a lot going on. It's dark. But our bodies are meant to move. They're meant to feel. Bend those knees, hands to thighs, tuck chin to chest. Inhale. Exhale, roll up to standing. Circle, sweep arms up to the sky. Inhale, reach up tall. And exhale, hands come to our heart space. Bend those knees, bring the elbows onto the thighs, press those hips back like you're about to hike a football, I assume. And then you're going to slowly spiral that right arm up to the sky. You have an option here. Yeah, you have an option here. You can bend those knees a lot. You might choose to even straighten the right leg, and that might feel quite nice. Or it might feel aggressive for that right outer hip. Know that you can always rebend if you choose to. One more breath. Exhale, release the right elbow down. Relax those shoulders. Drop those hips down. And then slowly spiral left arm up to the sky. Relax those shoulders. Maybe straighten out the left leg if that feels good for you. Take one more breath. And exhale, release down. Hands to the ground, relax head, neck, shoulders. Inhale, we're going to bring our hands to our shins. Come into our halfway lifted position. And then exhale, release down. Shift that weight to the right leg. Left foot is going to step back, coming into our lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge, torso comes upright. Now you might come more into a goalpost position, bending into that right knee, lift the left heel. Oh, so yeah, switch your feet. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah. Story of my life. So we're going to do just a little bit of movement from our lunge with a front lift to a standing balancing stick / warrior 3 / airplane. You pick the name and I'll show you what we do. On your inhale, we're going to shift forward, arms sweep open. As you exhale, I want you to bend that right knee, step back onto the left, and lift that right knee up. What? So we come down, plant, sweep open. We're embracing a balance. And then we step that left foot back. Notice how you land, lift it up. A little Ralph Macchio here. Karate Kid, yeah? No? And I'm talking about the old version. And no, I think there's a new one. Step back, lift. So when I move and I find balances, I want you to think about the leg that's moving, to me, is what I focus on. Step back and lift. Yes, one more time. Step forward, embrace this airplane and pause. Relax shoulders away from the ears. Dial that left hip down. Bend the knee a little bit more and press back into that right glute. Take one more deep breath in. Now swing that left arm to the front of your mat. Front bicep gets close to the left ear. On your exhale, we're going to spiral open into our warrior 2. And our journey to get there might feel very different. Relax those shoulders. Bend into that front knee. So our right foot is facing forward. Knee is stacked over the ankle. There's power in that left leg. Yeah. Arms can bend. They don't have to be lengthened. It's a lot for our shoulders, and we worked on a lot of shoulder stuff. Take 2 more breaths. Now we're going to take that left hand, inhale, sweep it down, bring it over to the right, and on your exhale, pull it back. Bring it down, inhale, and exhale, pull it back. 2 more times, bring it down. Now can you move with grace? Pull it back. And last time, down, sweep it forward. You're grabbing that arrow, pull it back. Now hold this position and then sweep that right hand up to the sky. Left hand can release. Rebend that right knee. What happened to it? Did it go away? Is it a choice? Maybe not. Now look down to the left foot, look up to the hand on the sky. What feels better for you? What is your prescription in your body? On your inhale, come back, warrior 2. On your exhale, right elbow down. That left arm is going to sweep to the front of your mat. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Think about this upper body creating a line. So touching the ground does not get us to nirvana. It might get us into yoga journal in a different way, but that's not what our bodies are about. Now I want you to press into that right heel. Inhale, torso comes up. Straighten the right leg. Dial your toes to the left side of the mat. So dial your toes to me. Now interlace your hands behind the back. Hug those shoulder blades in. On your exhale, hinge forward. Lead with the heart, lower down, head, neck, shoulders. Forward fold. Relax the head. Now you have an option here. You can squeeze those arms in towards each other. Squeeze that back. You might drop the shoulders down to the ears, or you might lift them up and away. Take one more breath. And then on your exhale, we're going to release those hands down to the ground. Shake out the head, yes. Shake out that head, no. Maybe there's shifting of side to side. Maybe there's movement and breath. As we challenge certain aspects in our own lives, how do we face those challenges? Sometimes I am a bull in a china shop, knocking over everything I see. And then other times, I'm passive and I wait. The word of my year, maybe the word of my life, is to consider. As we bubble up into ourselves, I think a lot of us forget that consideration of what it's like to maybe not step into someone else's shoes because our feet are not the same size. But just to consider that your life is different than someone else's. To consider our words before we speak. To consider our breath. Now, we're going to toe heel the feet together once or twice. Bend those knees. And we're going to roll up to standing. We are then going to take and step right foot over to the left. All right. Hopefully we're in the same place towards the back of our mat. You're going to take and we are going to lift our right knee. Our hands come up to about shoulder level and whatever feels right for you. We're going to plant that right foot over to the right side. And on your exhale, you're going to open up. Right arm reaches up. Left hand reaches in the direction of that left foot. Inhale, we're going to come back up, bend both knees. Right knee comes up. And exhale down. Inhale up, lift that right knee. Exhale, toe, ball of the foot, heel, embrace the ground. Inhale back to center and lower it down. Inhale up one more time. Open, pause. Pause at the bottom. Relax the shoulders. Take a deep breath in and out. Inhale, come into center. Straighten both legs, torso comes up. Now all toes go to your right, to the front of your mat. Step that left foot forward just a little bit. Hands to hips. On your exhale, hinge forward. Lead with the heart. Head, neck, shoulders release down. Parashvatanasana. Draw the right hip back, left hip forward. If you want to use blocks, just make sure you're not locking the right leg. Again, even in stability, there's movement within the joints. Even when we're still in meditation, the belly rises and falls. There's movement even in the stillest of things. Wiggle the hips. Relax the shoulders. Take one more deep breath in. Let that breath go into any of the sharp edges that you feel. And out. Bending into the right knee, step that left foot forward. Come into your forward fold, maybe moving blocks off to the sides if you had them. Bend those knees. Inhale, we'll roll you up to standing. Circle sweep arms up to the sky. And exhale, hands are going to come to our heart space. Come back to that intention. What is it you choose to feel when you walk out of class? What is it you want to bring into your day? Inhale, circle sweep arms up to the sky. Exhale, sink down into your chair. Draw those hips back, bend those knees. And then fold over the thighs. Find your forward fold. Slide your hands to your shins, coming into your halfway lifted position. And exhale, release down. Take that right foot, bring it back. We're already back here.
And then we'll come up into our crescent lunge. So that standing balancing stick to our little Ralph Macchio position, that's next. Bend if you can into that left knee. So there is already that kind of conditioning. Arms come down. Inhale, come up. You're going to lift up that right foot. And then exhale, plant that right foot down, drop the heel down, and lift up the left knee. Drop it down, bending the right knee, bending the left, lift up the right. And I want you to be as extreme and as slow as you can be. I'm going to tell you, the slower you move, the harder it is. Because we see all those places within our body that we shake, we wiggle, we jiggle. And those are the places we embrace, because that means we can strengthen those places to just feel a little bit more secure. To be brave with our own bodies is to not shy away from any place that we feel weakness. It's to dive into it, to embrace it, to encourage. The same way you would encourage a little child to be strong and to be brave, my young ones. Now, the next time you're forward, pause. Bend that left knee, press back into that left glute. Drop the right hip down. Relax the left toes. Are they clenching for dear life? Yes, yes. They don't need to. Take one more deep breath in and out. Now, sweep the right hand forward so that the right arm is next to the right side of your face. As you exhale, open up into your warrior two. So with our warrior two, you have your left knee bent and the right leg is straight. So switch. Yes, yes. I know, with mirrors, with switching, I'm a lot of this, which I never thought I could do until I started doing lefts and rights. This is my left, this is my right. So let's switch. Can you bend your left knee? Have your right toes facing the mirror. Ah, yes. Now switch the left toes facing to the other mirror. Yeah, there we go. Now we're cooking with gas. All right. So from here, you're going to take that right hand. It's going to come down like you're grabbing an arrow. Bring it over to the left and pull it back. This is a little kind of play on the archer strings a golden arrow. I always think about, I'm not a hunter, and I don't do archery. I'm a vegetarian. I have a hard time killing bugs. I see the need for it, and I think that there is this delicate relationship we have with nature. But I think about what it must be to have that split-second moment before you loose your arrow. Calm. 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 One more time. Now take that left hand, reach it up to the sky. You can drop that right hand anywhere that feels comfortable for you. Did you lose the bend within that left knee? And the option could be yes. Is it a choice? Or did you just go into habit? Habit will take you to one place. We've already been there. Let's try something different. See what it feels like. On your next inhale, come back to center. Exhale, left elbow down, but we're relaxing left shoulder. That right arm can strap bicep to ear, hand to hip, half bind. All we're doing is navigating how we fit within these postures. Yoga could be here, us, lying down on our mat and just breathing. But it's what we learn when we go through those circles and cycles of conversation. What is it we learn? Press into that left heel. Activate your abdominals. Inhale, torso comes up. Now straighten the left leg. Dial your left toes to the right side of your mat. Now open up your arms, 5-pointed star. As you exhale, hinge forward, lead with the heart, head, neck, shoulders, come down. Shake out the head, yes and no. And what we learn on this journey can be messy. What we learn, we can feel shame, we can feel delight. But no matter what's happened previous, it's brought us here to this point, this moment right here. Breath, you. Although we might not want to celebrate every breath that we have, when we remember and when it feels right, we celebrate it. And whether we have to wear masks, we learn to smile with our eyes. We learn to realize this is for our greater good, the people around us, protection of ourselves and of the world. We think about this bigger us. You, me. We might not have met before today, but now we are in each other's lives. And I love you for all the messiness, just the same way I love me for all of my messiness. Now, toe heel the feet together once or twice. Bend those knees. We're going to roll up to standing. Now you're going to inch that left foot over to the right. And we're going to do just 2 of these lunges. So I'm with you. You're going to lift that left knee up. It's going to go off to the left side. We're going to plant it down, toe, ball of the foot, heel. When we land in that side lunge, you're going to open up the right hand down the right leg. Left arm reaches up to the sky. Yes, I'll take it. Now, as you come forward, push into that right foot, bend the knee, knee up, hands up, and drop it down. One more time. And just have fun. Life can't all be serious. This is not a library. You can laugh, you can giggle, you can move. Now come up to center. Don't move that left foot in. Drop your heels in. Toes out. Sink down into your goddess pose. Or if you're in Tai Chi or karate, this is called horse pose, horse stance. Now we're going to do this thing, moon and the river. We're going to go 2 times per side. I'm going to do it with you. Any rendition of it is beautiful, so just embrace it. Hands are going to go off to the right side. On your inhale, you're going to straighten your legs. You're going to create that moon. Arms come up and over and to the left. As you exhale, you're going to bend your knees, and the hands are going to go across the lake. Inhale, arms come up and over, creating that arc. Exhale, soften the fingers. Let them glisten over the water. Now inhale, arms come up and over to the left and pause. Hold it here for an exhale. We're going to come in the opposite direction. Inhale, those arms circle sweep up and over to the right. That's our moon. Exhale, soften the fingers. Let them be soft. Find grace. Let it feel like a tonic for your body. One more time. Circle sweep arms up and over to the right side. Exhale, let them cross. Now come into center, hands to thighs, hands to heart space or in a mudra. Relax your toes. Are they clinging? Just mine. Take a deep breath in and out. Embrace these sensations. 2 more breaths. Notice the beating of your heart. Is it getting faster? Do you feel the warmth in the thighs? That's life. Right here. You can get through it. Press to come up. Now, all toes are going to go towards your left, front of your mat. Hands to hips. We're going to find our Parashvattanasana. Relax those shoulders. Broaden the chest. Inhale. As you exhale, hinge from the hips. Fold forward. Hands can come down to the ground or blocks. Wiggle your hips. Don't be afraid to move. Shake out the head yes and no. So as many times as we maybe come into a place where consideration is second, emotion is first, it's that many times that we start to notice our own inner workings. How do we approach a situation? How do we breathe? How do we be? Now, slowly, we're going to step that right foot forward, forward fold. Now, let's see if this works. Let's see if it works. We are going to walk our hands over to the right side. Continue, bend the knees, and sit down onto our glutes so our back is facing the front of your mat. And if that doesn't work, just come down onto your glutes. Yeah. Now bring the soles of your feet together, knees open wide. Take a deep breath in right here. Two options. Hands can go behind the back. That's kind of my favorite. Letting those knees just drop open with gravity. Or option two, you can hinge over the legs. And notice this. Your feet never have to be super close to your groin. So you might even move them away and see if that feels better. We are not a cookie cutter trying to be forced into this position of, or this asana, this posture. There's fluidity and stillness. So embrace that kind of fluidity and motion and movement. What is it like for you to explore your own body? It's a beautiful thing when we start to kind of dig away some of those stories that we tell ourselves about ourselves. Take one more deep breath in. Let the breath come into any of those sharp edges of the stretch. Are you breathing fully? And then pressing up. As we press up, bring those knees together. Hands go behind the back. Drop both knees over to the right side. Maybe get a little adjustment. Yeah. And then lift them up and drop them over to the left. A new shifted perspective. What do you get to look at now? Fun paintings. Let the knees lift up, drop them over to the right. And then lift them up and drop them over to the left. And then come into center, inch your tail feathers forward to the center of your mat if you're not already there. You can grab onto your knee pits, so behind the back of the knees, and then roll down onto your back. Once you come down onto the back, hug those knees in towards the chest. Let them rock from side to side a few times. Circle out the ankles, wiggle the toes. Bring the left foot down to the ground. Right ankle crosses on the left thigh. So the left knee is going to be bent and sole of the foot is on the ground. Left knee bent, sole. Yeah, you can do it from seated. Yeah. 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 Of course, we embrace. So left knee is bent, sole, you're going to bring your ankle on top of the thigh. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Left knee bent. Can you get the sole of the foot on the ground? So we're in a figure four position. Yes. Yes. Now hug the legs into the chest, keeping the cross if you want. Now, I personally like to grab onto my right knee and my right ankle. I feel like I get a better place and I can relax my shoulders. But you always have the option to interlace the hands behind that left leg if that feels best for you. Now take a deep breath in and let that breath cradle the right hip. close your eyes. There's nothing for you to see. So that journey goes inwards. How do we soften? How do we learn? Slowly unhooking the right foot from the left and dropping it down onto the ground. We're going to do it towards the other side. Right sole of the foot to the mat, knee bent. Left ankle goes on top of the right thigh. And you can take and you can, in this figure 4 position, push out that left knee and hip and thigh. Soften the jaw. Notice how tension just weaves its magic in there. And it becomes this choice. If and when you're ready, just curling those legs into the chest, keeping the cross. Give yourself 2 breaths right here. There's no one to impress. It's just you and breath. It's just you and breath. How do you meet yourself where you are? Relax, allowing for the feet to come back to the mat, uncrossing the legs. Give them a squeeze into the chest, and we'll just let our bodies, as you're ready, relax into your Shavasana. Let the jaw soften. Let go of what happened or what didn't happen during practice. Letting go of any of these stories that we tell ourselves, stories about ourselves. Notice in this position, you might be still forcing a held position. Let the body be soft. And consider these words. Chunky and noisy, but with stars in their black feathers. They spring from telephone wire, and instantly they are acrobats in the freezing wind. And now in the theater of air, they swing over buildings, dipping and rising. They float like one stippled star that opens, becomes for a moment fragmented, then closes again. And you watch, and you try, but you simply can't imagine how they do it with no articulated instruction, no pause, only the silent confirmation that they are this notable thing, this wheel of many parts that can rise and spin over and over again, full of gorgeous life. O world, what lessons you prepare for us, even in the leafless winter, even in the ashy city. I am thinking now of grief and getting past it. I feel it in my boots, trying to leave the ground. I feel it in my pumping heart that's pumping hard. I want to think again of dangerous and noble things. I want to be light and frolicsome. I want to be improbably beautiful and afraid of nothing, as though I had wings. Mary Oliver. Om. Loka Satana Sukino Bhavantu. Om Shanti. 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 Om. Just notice your body on the ground, the flow of breath, the inhaling and exhaling. And start to wiggle the fingers, letting there be some connection back with the body. Maybe letting those arms reach above your head as you find a full long stretch. Or choosing to stay just as you are, which is a beautiful place. And then, if you're ready, just taking one hand, bring it onto your chest and the other one onto your belly. May we pause to consider. May we take in the full breath before response. May we think before typing. May we try before quitting. And may we use our breath to find us back to this moment. Thank you so much for joining me here, for showing as you are and being who you are. All that I am bows so deeply to all that is within you. Namaste. So thank you for being sports, trying some new things, right? And take your time. How do you all feel?